Okay, so on to England against India then. And I mean, this is a really big game now for England, isn't it? There is a situation in the tournament where, I mean, at the time of recording, we don't know what's happened with Pakistan, Afghanistan. We've got to presume that probably Pakistan will win that one. And if they have, England are out that top four. And the only way they can stay in it and keep the destiny in their own hands is if they win the last two games. Beat India here at Edgbaston, and then they've got to beat New Zealand. So England have somehow got themselves in this hole out of nowhere, really. I mean, losing to Sri Lanka could ultimately cost them a top four berth, looking back. India are cruising along still. Things are going very well for them. They look very much set to be, I mean, they could well win the group stage. But not without their frailties, perhaps, with the batting in India, but certainly look a more complete unit than England right now. I mean, to start with England, what on earth is going wrong with this England team, Kev? It just seems to be falling apart.
Shackles are on them, Steve. The shackles have been on them throughout this tournament. I mentioned it after the Pakistan game that England can't win this tournament if their batting is shackled. And the shackles came off once or twice throughout the course of the campaign, but look who it was against. Bangladesh on a road at Cardiff, where Bangladesh were missing their best bowler, or one of their best bowlers, and Afghanistan, who were never going to offer up anything significant on a road at Old Trafford. Take that out of the equation, though, Steve, and they haven't put in a convincing batting performance at any stage of the tournament. If anything, they're getting worse with the bat. That's not good. They need Jason Roy back as a matter of urgency, but their only problem is they bring him back here. You just know that India are going to chuck some spinners at him straight up. So he's not going to be in his comfort zone, even if he does come back here. And they're in problems, England. I mentioned right at the start of the tournament that I couldn't back England to win this tournament because I couldn't trust them to defend any sort of total that's around par. And I certainly couldn't trust them the way they're batting. I got criticised when I posted on Twitter about England needing to lose the shackles because they lost the Pakistan game because of their fielding, apparently. But I saw the writing on the wall way back then, and nothing's changed. And unless them shackles come off, England probably won't even make the semi-finals.
What is the status with Jason Roy, do we know? Is he likely to play in this game? I mean, I think England are going to have to risk him, aren't they?
Well, cameras have shown him doing some fitness work. So, I mean, sort of 75, 80% fit, you've got to chuck him in, haven't you? Poor old James Vince having a shocking time of it. And, I mean, ironically, Vince might go well, actually. He's a decent enough player of spin. But, Jason Royce, everything to this England side.
Yeah, big part of the batting at the top of that order for England. It's but the whole. I mean, this is my rant from England's point of view. Now, I think there's all sorts of they're stuck in 2 or 3 different mindsets as far as I'm concerned. It's all well and good saying release the shackles, but there's been some absolutely stupid shots, really daft shots, which even if it's all well and good doing that, if you've got to at least target the right sort of balls and play percentage shots in certain ways. There's been a lot of brainless incidents regarding the batsmen, but the pressure's there, and they can't seem to handle the pressure of chasing anything right now. They're almost better off setting a target at the moment, England. And there's also that the first 25 overs against Australia with the ball in the field, there was a flat feeling towards England in that regard. There's obviously a big malaise around the team, and they desperately need to beat India. Is it a good matchup for England, India, or not?
No, it's not. It's a terrible matchup. It might have been a decent matchup some of the other grounds, but at Edgbaston, I mean, the ball was doing all sorts in the last game here between New Zealand and Pakistan. I mean, even Mitchell Santner was turning it square. Okay, it's going to be a fresh wicket. They're not playing on the same wicket. They're playing on a different wicket, but the square's the square. And while it might be a little bit flatter and maybe not turn quite as much, the credentials of the square are still the same. So England are going to get a trial by spin here. They're not going to get a road. The only good thing they've got going for them is Edgbaston is a wonderful, wonderful venue for English support. You think back to Ashes Test matches. some of England's greatest supports here. So they might well have a decent enough support in the crowd behind them, but if they look down at the pitch, they might not like what they see.
Yeah, I read somewhere it's a ridiculously good ground for England. England wins in one-day internationals. I don't think they've lost one here for quite some time. But
one of the ones that they did lose here recently was obviously the 2013 Champions Trophy final to India on a pitch very much similar to the one I'm expecting on Sunday. Plenty of turn and well, with the weather that we're having, I mean, this is the third really warm day of weather, and there's another one to come even hotter than that on Saturday. I just can't see how the pitch is not going to be anything other than dry. So India will be rubbing their hands together, that's for sure.
You're going to back India to win this game, aren't you?
Yep. A couple of reasons. As I say, I fully expect Jason Roy to come back into the side, but I fully expect him to get a trial by spin straight up. They'll bowl Chahal at him. They'll have, they'll have no problems bowling Chahal at him, because even if it takes 6 or 7 overs to get him out, they've got Jadav to bowl some part-time spin later in the piece. I can't say that I'm completely au fait with India. The situation around their number 4 is an absolute shambles. Vijay Shankar wouldn't get in my local club team, so how he gets in this side, I've absolutely no idea. They've got Rishabh Pant in their squad now. I don't know why he wasn't in their squad to begin with. That was a stupid move. To have him in the squad and still play Shankar is just a stubborn move now. And it's about time that they did the noble thing and sent him off packing and got Pant in there. They want a consistent batting lineup here, because if England do get through that top 3, it could become edgy for India. But even then, I'm backing the Indian spinners to do the job on this wicket.
Yeah, so India to win, and you've also got a pick that involves Moeen Ali from the England side.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to score well in this England side if you can't play spin particularly well, Steve. And Moeen Ali's had his faults in this tournament, hasn't he? He's had his criticisms. I suspect one of the things that you was talking about indirectly just then was his shot against Sri Lanka soon after hitting a 6, hitting one straight down long off his throat. But that's the way he plays, and I'm fine with that. I'd rather him get out playing like that than poking at a defensive shot and getting out. But he's a brilliant player of spin. Chahal's going to be turning the ball into his pads. Kuldeep Yadav doesn't really turn it as much as Chahal. So I would like England to be flexible in this game and utilise Moeen Ali up the order. I don't know whether they will or not, but even if they don't, there's a chance that he's going to come in and not be chasing too much. Moeen Ali grew up playing all of his cricket at Edgbaston before he moved to Warwickshire. Before he moved to Worcestershire. He was a Warwickshire player, so he'll know every inch of this ground. I just think he's a big price at 20s. There's every chance that England's openers fail against spin. So there's a lot of pressure on Joe Root, Owen Morgan. Owen Morgan's probably under a little bit of pressure with the captaincy, as much as his form. His shot on Tuesday didn't look great, even though, again, I've no problem with it. And you just wonder if Stokes and Butler are good enough against the spin to score well. I have a feeling that Moeen Ali's due a performance in this tournament. Yes, it's more likely to come with the ball because of the position he bats in, but at 20-1, I'll pay to see if he performs with the bat here. There is definitely a performance in him.
All right. Well, we're recording this one a fair bit in advance of the game, so not sure about final selections. Keep your eye out on Kev's website. There may well be a few more for this India-England game.
Yeah, they probably will, Steve. I'm just waiting for absolute confirmation that Jason Roy is or isn't playing, and then I'll base a few more picks around that.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck with that, and intriguing game. We're expecting India to probably come out on top against England, which is obviously a shame from an English supporter's point of view. But things aren't going England's way right now. But
it keeps Bangladesh in the hunt. So with every negative, there's a positive, Steve.
There is. So good luck with that, and we'll be back for Monday's action, next week's action, starting with I can't remember what the match is on Monday. Sri Lanka, West Indies, I think it might be. So we'll see you for that one, Kev.
Yep. All the best, Steve. Have a good weekend, mate.
Cheers. You as well.